Having an anime series where the characters with a power, skill, or significant attribute that they either do not realize yet themselves or must hide from others make for some of the best anime stories. In this episode of AniTube we're counting down the top 10 anime series where the main character has an badass hidden power. So sit back and enjoy the video. Academy City, Japan, is at the forefront of science. Besides being 30 years ahead of the world technologically, more than 3/4 of this peculiar city's population consists of students developing their psychic abilities as espers in various institutions. Among these students is Touma Kamiju, a high school boy with the lowest psychic rank of 0, but with a mysterious power no scientist can understand. Imagine Breaker, which allows him to negate other supernatural abilities. This, however, doesn't affect Kamiju's life in the least as he plays his role as a regular teenager, that is, until he meets the strange Index Liberum Prohibitorum, a young girl who has memorized the entirety of the Forbidden Grimoires, and now a dangerous organization is hunting Index down. With several magicians looking to harm the girl, Kamiju will defend his new companion at all costs as he discovers a strange new realm of the supernatural. When a shape-shifting demon with a thirst for human flesh, known as Yauma, arrives in Rocky's village, a lone woman with silver eyes walks into town with only a sword upon her back. She is a claymore, a being manufactured as half human and half Yauma, for the express purpose of exterminating these monsters. After Rocky's family is killed, the claymore saves his life, but he is subsequently banished from his home. With nowhere else to go, Rocky finds the claymore, known as Claire, and decides to follow her on her journeys. As the pair travel from town to town, defeating Yauma along the way, more about Claire's organization and her fellow warriors comes to light. With every town cleansed and every demon destroyed, they come closer to the Yauma on which Claire has sought vengeance ever since she chose to become a claymore. Maintaining a delicate balance of power, the kingdoms of Amoria, Ishilfen, and Vanradis rule over the continent of Kunain. Even the slightest hint of trouble in one country could spark a continent-wide war. However, their one common fear is the evil dragon Daganzard, whose only meaning of existence is to devour and destroy all life. 10 years ago, a group of mages worked together in an effort to seal away the malevolent beast. But the ritual later known as the Balbagoa tragedy was a failure, and many lost their lives. Though his parents died in this tragedy, Hiro was saved by the swordsman Jiru. Under the latter's tutelage, Hiro learned swordsmanship with the sole purpose of seeking revenge. Now a budding master himself, he sets out in search of Daganzard in order to realize his long-awaited vengeance, or to be consumed by the dragon and meet the same fate as his parents. In a post-apocalyptic world overrun with mutated beasts called Limbikun or filth monsters, humanity is forced to live in large mobile cities called Regios and learn to use special weapons called Dai by harnessing the power of K to defend themselves. In the Academy City of Zwelny, Lathan Olsif is hoping to start a new life and forget his past. However, his past has caught the attention of Carrion Loss, the manipulative student council president, and Nina Antic, a military arts student and captain of the 17th Military Arts Platoon, who instantly recognizes his abilities and decides he's the perfect candidate to join her group. However, with a secret past that won't leave him alone and unknown powers beyond normal, Lathan just might not take it. Humans and demons are two sides of the same coin, as are Asaya and Gehenna, their respective worlds. The only way to travel between the realms is by the means of possession, like in ghost stories. However, Satan, the ruler of Gehenna, cannot find a suitable host to possess and therefore remains imprisoned in his world. In a desperate attempt to conquer Asaya, he sends his son instead, intending for him to eventually grow into a vessel capable of possession by the Demon King. Aono Exorcist follows Rin Okumura, who appears to be an ordinary, somewhat troublesome teenager that is until one day he is ambushed by demons. His world turns upside down when he discovers that he is in fact the very son of Satan and that his demon father wishes for him to return so they can conquer Asaya together. Not wanting to join the king of Gehenna, Rin decides to begin training to become an exorcist so that he can fight to defend Asaya alongside his brother Yukio. Onmyaru magic was once a powerful technique used by the Japanese during the Second World War in order for them to gain the upper hand and establish their nation as a formidable force. But Japan was quickly defeated after the revered Onmyaji Yaku Tsuchimikado caused the Great Spiritual Disaster, an event which plagues Tokyo to this very day. As a result of this mishap, the Onmyu Agency was established in order to exorcise further spiritual disasters and combat the demons that would make their way into the world. Now, Onmyaru has become far more modern, simplified, and refined for use in a wide variety of applications, such as medicine and technology. However, not everyone is able to utilize the magic, as is the case with Hiratora, a member of the Tsuchimikado's branch family. Despite an old promise to protect Natsume, the heir of the Tsuchimikado's main family and Yaku's supposed reincarnation, as her familiar, Hiratora has no talent and chooses to live a normal life instead. But when a prominent member of the Onmyu Agency attempts to recreate the same experiment which led to Japan's downfall, he decides to make good on his word and fight by Natsume's side. There exist few humans in this world with the ability to manipulate their souls to form powerful weapons. Dubbed Blazers, these people study and train at the prestigious Hagen Academy to become mage knights. Among the students is so-called Failure Ikki Kurigane, the sole F-rated blazer. However, when the worst student in the academy sees Stella Vermilion, an A-rank blazer who also happens to be a princess, naked, she challenges him to a duel with dire stakes. The loser becomes the slave of the winner. There's no possible way that Stella can lose, right? Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry follows the story of Ikki as he tries to prove his strength to a world that believes him to be the weakest, all the while gaining new friends, wisdom, and experience. While on the surface Yu Otasaka appears to be just another charming and intelligent teenager, he has a secret. He has the ability to slip into people's minds and fully control their body for 5 seconds at a time. Yu has been using this skill for years to gain the highest grades, which allowed him to enter a prestigious high school. When the enigmatic Naotomori catches Yu using his power, she coerces him and his sister Ayumi into transferring to Hashinaumi Academy, a school for students with supernatural abilities. The student council of the school, led by Nao, is tasked with secretly tracking down adolescents who abuse their powers. Yu is forced to join the student council, and together, they face formidable challenges that bring him closer to the shocking truth that his own, seemingly incomplete ability might be more powerful than he could have ever imagined. An original story from Jun Mita, creator of Angel Beats and Clannad, Charlotte, explores the supernatural lives of these teenagers and the price they must pay for being special. In the dawn of the 21st century, magic, long thought to be folklore and fairy tales, has become a systematized technology and is taught as a technical skill. In First High School, the institution for magicians, students are segregated into 2 groups based on their entrance exam scores. Blooms, those who receive high scores, are assigned to the first course, while Weeds are reserve students assigned to the second course. Mahouka Kauku no Redise follows the siblings, Tatsuya and Miyuki Shiba, who are enrolled in First High School. Upon taking the exam, the prodigious Miyuki is placed in the first course, while Tatsuya is relegated to the second course. Though his practical test scores and status as a weed show him to be magically inept, he possesses extraordinary technical knowledge, physical combat capabilities, and unique magic techniques, making Tatsuya the irregular at a magical high school. With the appearance of a mysterious virus that kills everyone above the age of 13, mankind becomes enslaved by previously hidden, power-hungry vampires who emerge in order to subjugate society, with the promise of protecting the survivors in exchange for donations of their blood. Among these survivors are Yuichiro and Michaela Hayakuya, 2 young boys who are taken captive from an orphanage, along with other children whom they consider family. Discontent with being treated like livestock under the vampire's cruel reign, Michaela hatches a rebellious escape plan that is ultimately doomed to fail. The only survivor to come out on the other side is Yuichiro, who is found by the Moon Demon Company, a military unit dedicated to exterminating the vampires in Japan. Many years later, now a member of the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, Yuichiro is determined to take revenge on the creatures that slaughtered his family, but at what cost? Aori no Seraph is a post-apocalyptic supernatural shonen anime that follows a young man's search for retribution, all the while battling for friendship and loyalty against seemingly impossible odds. So what do you think of this list? Their name and which is your favorite anime series where the main characters has an hidden power? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more anime-related content.